Hello everyone, my name is Lim Zhe Xian. Welcome to my industry training presentation. My student ID is F21A1099. My academic advisor is Dr. Hashita binti Chaharun, and my company name of my industry training is Huarai Resources Berhad. The first memory is my most valuable experience during internship. The most valuable experience I gained was I learned how to collect blood from the network of the DOC chip. Although the procedure may appear simple, but it actually requires a high level of the patient, precise observation, and careful technique. During the hands-on practice, I learned not only how to locate the vein accurately, but also how to perform the procedure while ensuring the chick's safety and comfort. This experience taught me that mastering technical skill in the field and of the animal science is not merely about being able to perform them, but about doing so accurately, effectively, and in accordance with the animal welfare standard. The next is the one memorable memory during my internship. It is the badminton bonding between the Hualai Kesangpuru farm. It was the first time for me to play badminton with my colleagues in the company. Although it was just a simple sport activity, it brought us closer together and made me feel relaxed and warm outside of the work. On the court, everyone showed the restraint and seriousness of the delivery, and there was more laughter and encouragement, whether it was a senior colleague or a new employee who had just joined. Everyone was communicating in a sweet and building tacit understanding in the corporation. The next is Chapter 1 Introduction. Introduction to Organization. Huarai Resources Berhad is the one of Malaysia leading integrated poultry producer, established to meet the growing demand for poultry and poultry-related products. The company have evolved into a key player in the agriculture and food production industry. Huarai is involved in every stretch of poultry value chain, from feed milling, breeder and broiler farming, egg production, to poultry processing and further food manufacturing, with its commitment to quality, food safety and sustainable practice. Huarai Resources Berhad play a significant role in ensuring a stable and reliable food supply in the country. The next, Huarai Resources Berhad were incorporated in Malaysia and listed on the main board of Bursa Malaysia Security Berhad. The company operates primarily in the poultry farming sector, producing broiler chicken, table egg, and processed poultry product. It owns and manages various facilities including breeder and broiler farm, layer farm, feed mill, puller farm, egg grading and packaging center, poultry processing plant. The next, Huarai operations are vertically integrated, enabling the company to maintain strict control over quality and production costs. It is also one of the largest egg producers in Malaysia, supplying both the domestic and export market. The company emphasizes innovation and biosecurity in its operation to remain competitive in the dynamic agri-food industry. The next is the background chart of the Huarai Resources. The first is Lim Zhe Xian. He is the chairman and managing director of the Huarai. The next is Lim Zhe Xian, Dato Sri Lim Yu Xiong, Lim Yu Ting, is the executive director of the Huatlai Farm. And then the next, Tang Peng Chang, Jing Pek Lee, and also Datuk Muhammad Rosli Abdul Aziz is the independent non-executive director of the Huatlai Farm. The next is the summary of my industrial training activities. My industrial training at the poultry farm provide hands-on experience in vaccination, health monitoring, environment control, and also disease investigation. I gained a valuable insight into dairy operation and biosecurity practice to maintain a healthy poultry production system. Hualai, a vertically integrated poultry processing plant in Malaysia, emphasize innovation and also biosecurity for the competitiveness. The next is the summary of the dairy activity. The first is administration vaccine and antibiotic to the chicken to maintain flock health and also prevent the disease outbreak. The next is inspect and check the chicken house environment to ensure proper ventilation, temperature, and also hygiene condition. The next is assisted in the conducting postmortem examination to identify possible causes of the illness or mortality among the chicken. The last is performance disinfection by spraying the chicken house to reduce the microbial load and minimize disease transmission. The next is my technical report for the Chapter 3. The poultry farm industrial training focused on poultry health management, biosecurity, and also production efficiency. This includes vaccination program, antibiotic administration, temperature regulation, disease diagnosis, and environmental monitoring. The training developed technical competences and decision-making skill for the future professional in animal husbandry and also poultry production system. The next is my first project during my internship. It is field visit and health surveillance activities. First, me and my supervisor visit the site to check on the chicken and look at their living environment. We make sure everything was clean and in good condition. Next, we do blood sampling. We took blood from some of the chicken to send to the lab. This helps us check if they are healthy or if there are any hidden problem. The next, we had a meeting with all the workers. We talked to them about their daily tasks and asked them if they face any problem with the chicken or the equipment. After that, we had a meeting with all the supervisors. We discussed the health of the chicken and any improvement that can be made on the farm. Next, we had took the swab sample from the floor to send to the lab. This is to check the bacteria or the virus and to make sure the cleaning process is effective. Lastly, we assisted with a postmortem on a dead chicken. This helped us to learn what caused the death and how to prevent in the future. The next is my second project during my internship. The first, me and my supervisor at the vaccine project was calculated the number of the vaccine needed. We checked how many chicken was in each houses and make sure we had enough doses for all of them, with some extra in case of the error or waste. Next, we arrange the vaccine into the freezer. We check the temperature and make sure all the vaccine were stored properly according to their requirement condition to keep them effective. After that, we also start the vaccination process. There are two different method uses. The first is the injection method. For the vaccine, we use just a syringe to inject the vaccine into the chicken, usually under the skin or the bridge master. This method required careful handling and the proper technique. The second method we use is the eye drop method. For some vaccine like ILT, we use a small dropper to press the vaccine into the chicken eyes. This method is fast and suitable for the younger chick. The next is the last project during my internship. It is brooding project. My title for the project is brooding management and hygiene monitoring. The activities I have to do in the project is I spraying the TS4 for disinfection around the brooding area. TS4 is used to kill the bacteria and also reduce the risk of the infection for the chick. We focus on high contact area like the floor, walls, canvas, and the feeding zone to ensure the place stay clean and safe. The next, I also have to the record keeping. I write the important information such as the number of the chicken, temperature, humidity in the brooding area. Lastly, I also have reported any sick chick to my supervisor. I look the signs like weakness, lack of the appetite, calm. This can help in early treatment and prevent the sickness from spreading to other chick. The conclusion is my industrial training at the poultry farm has been an invaluable experience that significantly enhanced my practical knowledge and technical skills in poultry management. Throughout the training, I was exposed to wide range of the farm operation, including vaccination, antibiotic, and vitamin evaluation, postmortem diagnosis, environmental monitoring, and daily care of the flock. These hands-on tasks allow me to apply theoretical concepts learned in the classroom to real-world situations, deepening my understanding of poultry health, biosecurity, and also farm management. Lastly is my suggestion for the chapter 5. The first is suggestion for the industry training program. The first is extend the duration of training to allow the student to gain deeper understanding of the farm operation and management system. The next is encourage the periodic evaluation of feedback session between student and supervisor to track progress and address difficulties early. The next is suggestion for the organization. The first is improve the availability of protective equipment and hygiene toy to ensure a safe working environment for both staff and intern. The next is provide clear tasks, instruction, and standard operating procedures for students to follow during hands-on activity. The next is suggestion for myself. Be more proactive in asking questions and seeking clarification when faced with unfamiliar procedures or tasks. Strengthen theoretical knowledge in poultry disease, nutrition, and biosecurity before start the internship for better application into the field work. Improve. The next is improve communication skill to interact more effectively with the farm staff and supervisor. That's all from me. Thank you.